I don't know what happened there. It was just really strange. All of a sudden, I don't know what, it just went off and then it said, oh, YouTube is, updating. Check back in later, basically. So, yeah, gosh, stupid things. I don't know what, but we're testing this live. So what we're doing here basically is I'm not only am I live right now, but I'm also screen recording the live stream. So what I'm trying to do basically is, because obviously I still want to broadcast the Muskies games live. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a test to make sure, just in case the live feed doesn't work, then, we can post it later basically and still have the regular footage. So that's what I'm testing right now. And I had planned to do both the game recaps from Thursday and Friday night's Musketeers games during the pregame show tonight. But I just thought, we could just do them right now on our test stream. So we'll start out on Thursday night, just because, obviously. So, yeah, so with that in mind, let's get into it. Alrighty, we'll start in the first period. Thursday night, the Muskies were in Fargo, so like I said, we'll start in the first. Fargo got it off not right away, but Luke McNamara scored for them, and then just 30 seconds later, Zach Zimmerman scored from Brooks Cullen and Graham Greeter, so that made it a 2-0 game at the end of one. Shots that period 13 to Sioux City 7, so yeah, so now we go into the second. Minute 16 in terms of penalties now, too, because there was no penalties in the first. Ryan Poyer went in 2 minutes for slashing. At 5:44, Patrick Tolan, 2 minutes for interference. At 7:32, Bowden Samper, 2 minutes for slashing. Then at 8:13, the Muskies got on the board with Shane Gold's goal from William Tomko and Mate Tepley on the power play. And then at the 14:01 mark, Kason Musket, 2 minutes for holding. Just 55 seconds later, Mason Stanger went in for holding. And then at the 1940 mark, Kason Musket and Patrick Tolan each went in 2 minutes for delay of game. So, oh my, some things I tell you. Shots that period were Fargo. Again, they had 13 shots compared to Sioux City's just 5. So 26-12 after 2 periods of play. I mean, I know shots aren't, all, that it doesn't reflect on, whether or not a team's good or not, really. But yeah. I probably should be listening to this on my computer just to make sure the audio works, because during the first test stream we had my microphone, well, the switch on it was turned off, so I probably should be paying attention just to make sure we're off. So I probably should be paying attention. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good there. So, whew, thank goodness. Okay, so now we'll head into the third. 47 seconds in, Shane Gold scored another one. Tomko with another assist, and then Dallas View, obviously, with another one. So that made it a tied game at 2, and the Muskies, they seem to, be trending upward. At the 118 mark, Nicholas Kasiba scored. Well, he went in for high sticking. He didn't score, but eventually they did score. At the 12:46 mark, Graham Jones from Stepan Cerny, and yeah, that made it a 3-2 game. And then Fargo basically sealed it. Bowden Samper scored from Jacob Sagadin and Saxton Test. That made it a 4-2 game. And then an empty netter right on top, because why not? Patrick Tolan from Luke McNamara on an empty netter. So yeah, 5-2 was the final score for that one. What's up, Sandy? And, we'll head on to Friday night. Now, last night, this was a home game. This was a home game for the Muskies last night. Unfortunately, obviously, I wasn't able to be there. So, yeah. One's in your chat. I'll stay here for you. Well, we got quite a few people watching, so I'm not too terribly concerned about the chat. So we'll start out in the first period, and it started 31 seconds in because, and of course, we played Sioux Falls again last night at home, which, always brings out the irritation out of me. So just 31 seconds in, Wade Weil, as I like to say, FAFO, fricked around and found out. And he got into a fight with Kason Musket, a guy you do not want to fight with. That's all I'm going to say. then they both went in, of course, 5s and 10s for fighting, as you all know. So, yeah, the 3:51 mark. Brent Solomon scored for Sioux Falls, assisted by Matthew Grimes, so that made it a 1-0 game. 6:08 mark, though, Cade Strom went in 2 minutes for roughing. And then at the 13:58 mark, two different things happened, both a goal and a penalty. Sioux City tied it up, which was the good thing. William Tomko from Trey Jefferson, Max Anderson, that made it a tie game, obviously, at 1. And then Ryder Betzold from Sioux Falls went in 2 minutes for hooking. I tried to find, obviously I was kind of watching the game, and I was basically watching 2 games at once, so I couldn't really see what happened with that, but kind of interesting. Although it was kind of a weird play in front of the net, and, it just went in. Basically top shelf. And then, of course, Kason Musket got another freaking penalty late in the first, tripping. That was what that was. So, yeah. Now we head into the second period. No, basically what I'm doing here, for those of you who are just coming on, I'm testing just to make sure, because you're watching this live right now, but I'm also screen recording the live stream. So just so that we have 2 different things in case the live stream doesn't, upload completely like we've had many a times before. So kind of want to tour. Well, I'm not actually in my house. I'm actually in my dorm right now. So my roommate isn't here. So that's why we're able to do this. We'll head into the second period now. It was basically all Sioux Falls, basically from here on out. We'll start out 36 seconds in. Thomas Zoko scored from Jake Prunty and Joey Macrina on the power play. That made it a 2-1 game, obviously. At the 3:04 mark, Elias Vatne went in 2 minutes for hooking. 6:38 mark, Sioux Falls got another one, of course. JJ Montiero from Brent Solomon and Jake Prunty. That made it a 3-1 game. And then Wade Weil went in 2 more minutes for hooking. Of course, he got into the fight with Musket. Let's see here. At the 13:29 mark, Cooper Soller went in 2 minutes for interference. Just a little bit later, at the 14:23 mark, Luke Gary went in for interference. And at the 16:49 mark, Travis Poliski went in 2 minutes for tripping. And then, of course, well, actually, this was kind of similar to what happened in the first, because a goal was scored along with the penalty. So Tommy Holpe went in. Tommy Holpe scored from Justin Tebow, and that made it a 3-1 game. Or 4-1. Yes, 4-1. And then it just, I don't even know. At the 18:10 mark, Joey Macrina went in and scored from Jacob Prunty and Ryder Betzold. That made it a 5-1 game. Sioux Falls basically put it away at the end of the second. But we still had one more period to go. It started out at the 4:50 mark. Brent Solomon scored. He went in for high sticking. So yeah, and then, of course, it wouldn't be a goal unless there was a penalty attached to it. At the 6:44 mark, Trey Jeffers got one back for us, which was good, from Dallas View and Shane Gold on the power play. But then Joseph McGraw went in for tripping from Sioux Falls. So then, of course, we had the power play. At the 9:25 mark, Ryan Poyer went in 2 minutes for tripping. 10:46, Joey McGraw, 2 minutes for roughing. 14:16, for some reason, I don't know why, but Pavel Martinu went in 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Interesting. That was the last penalty, thank God. And then Sioux City got another one right at the end. Shane Gold from Travis Poliski and Daniil Boutin. Final score with that one, 5-3. Even though it looks like it was kind of a close game, it really was not. Sioux Falls pretty much dominated throughout. Final shots were 37-27 in favor of Sioux Falls. Hello, Justin. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Some things just happen, and that was, although we did have one of the worst referees you could possibly have last night in Daniel Fagan. Although I will say he pretty much called an even Stevens game in terms of penalties. Both teams had 6 power plays, so it's kind of a lot, but it was even. And that's really what mattered. So, yeah. So those were the recaps of the 2 games. Again, I was going to do those during the pregame show tonight, but it just, I just decided now, while we were testing out this format, that, I would just do them now, basically. So looking to tonight, of course, I got my pink Musketeer shirt on because it's pink in the rink. So that'll be fun for sure. What I'm going to do, and you won't see this obviously during the broadcast, but I've got some pink, not really hair dye, but one of those where, you can spray it on and then when you get home, shampoo it quite a bit and, wash your hair out and things like that, then it'll all come out. So as it says, temporary hair color. So yeah, I'll be doing that because usually I would wear a hat with a boa, and then I also have white kind of like dress pants too, but I don't know where any of that went. I mean, I thought I knew where the pink hat and the pink boa went, but in terms of my white pants, yeah, no clue. No clue. So, and I thought I knew where those were at, but, they weren't where I thought. So, yeah, this is just kind of an ultimatum to that. So, I still will look good. I mean, I found a good pink tie and a pink jacket. So, yeah, although it's not the pink jacket I really wanted, it's the one I'm stuck with, and it's okay with me. Okay with me. I'm not going to complain too much about it. But, yeah, so I'm going to see. I mean, I'm just surprised YouTube would allow me to not only do this live stream, but also to screen record it too. So we'll see what the results were for that, and hopefully it worked, and hopefully we have a great broadcast tonight. We'll be on the air at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you join us for that. So I will see you later on tonight. Bye-bye.